Welcome back, inmates, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Balance tries to reconnect with Marnak. Rhal'Jakk gives the most amazing hug, as Zaltanna reminds a friend about personal space. The group begin to make inroads into Aimer's murder after leaving Talis with Kythea. After discovering that only Kaden knows how to drive a horse and cart, they find themselves confronted by the ever-present threat. With half the group down, confronted by powerful celestials, will our brave heroes fight, or will they fly? I guess you're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die. Last time we left you guys, Rhal'Jakk and Kaden had managed to avoid being thrown off the cart and have come up in some sort of standing pose. The horses are going a bit nuts with this fallen cart, and Zaltanna and Balance are laying on the ground. In front of you, Rhal'Jakk, you can see there are 3 celestials. Take a investigation for me. This is what specific things you're going to note about them.
Oh, that's something that I'm real good at. Not.
Nah.
I'm going to keep saying that, and then everyone's going to be very confused at what my stats are. That's a 19, though.
Okay. Before you notice, all of you will be able to notice this, but the specifics I'll give to you separately. You notice before you there are 3 celestials. There is a firebird, which is roughly 3 or 4 foot, very long tail. There is a tall, skeletal-looking humanoid, very long arms, very long fingers, very skeletal frame. You can see the kind of like the you can see the rib cage, and you can see kind of like as they turn their head, you can see like the knobbles of all the spines, connection-y things, and they have what looks like a mohawk. And they are covered in delicate golden runes, and they have black smoke, which kind of forms a kind of loincloth and a short cloak. Yes, you would notice that this person looks drained. They look like they're at the end of their kind of endurance. The firebird itself looks like some of its feathers have been torn out and broken. And the final one you notice is a very graceful and very powerful woman. Humanoid. She has long flowing red hair interwoven with feathers of the firebird, so it's kind of glowing. And there's armor. She has armor which looks a bit like metal that has been knotted, but it's just all over her body. And she's carrying a great sword. She is bleeding quite heavily, and she looks very unhappy, very mournful. This is what you notice.
Okay.
They are basically standing.
Are they still approaching?
They are approaching. Let's say they're like you're on the pathway. Mm-hmm. All 3 of them have stepped out onto the path. The central figure being the tall skeletal-looking dude, and he's standing in the center with the female on his left and the firebird on the right. They're standing in front of you. They are essentially like in a line across this pathway, and they are approaching you. Let's say they're like 50 foot out. They're close.
Are these like big things, or are they like regular sized creatures?
The dude in the center is about 6'6". The female is about 7 foot, and the firebird is about 4.
Okay. I'm gonna stand in between them and my friends who are getting up, and I'm not gonna attack them yet or anything. Okay. I'm not gonna make any offensive moves. I'm gonna be on the defensive.
Mm-hmm. Caden is going to follow your lead in this, and he's going to stand up next to you. He has got his hand on his longsword, though. What are you two laying on the ground doing?
Balance is getting up.
You may get up.
Zaltanna will also get up.
Congratulations, you're both up. What do you want to do now? Let's say you guys are like 15 feet behind the other two.
Okay. Balance is going to come up next to Rhal'Jakk. Not drawing his weapons just yet, but he's got his hands like resting on the hilts of his blades.
Mm-hmm.
And he does have his aura sight active. Can I do an insight on them to try to get a read?
Sure. Do you think you would know what these are? I mean, you all know that they're celestials, but do you think you would know what they are?
That depends on his education that he got. I mean, I would assume that's something that probably would have been taught as a threat to the land.
It's definitely they're called the ever-present threats. Yeah, you'd probably would be schooled somewhat in a little bit in this. Okay, what are you trying to figure out with insight?
I want to try to get a read on their aura and see what their intentions, like if they seem to be hostile or if they just want to talk.
Which one are you inciting?
Let's go with big, skeletal, and scary.
Sure, take an insight check for me, and then take a separate history check.
All right, so insight advantage. That is a 13 insight, and history without advantage. History is an 11. Thank you, Roll20. I love you.
I'm gonna give you the info on the big skeletal dude because that's the person you're looking at. So I'm gonna say it's one that your eyes naturally more drawn to.
He is front and center, so
he is front and center. Yes, he looks drained. I mean, his female companion looks beaten to fuck and mournful, but this one looks particularly drained. There's not a lot left in the old magical tank, so to speak. That's all you can really pick up with that. With your knowledge of history of being 11, you simply know his name. He is a Sandman.
A Sandman?
Mm-hmm. What you know about this is that he is the master of dreams. And yes, that's pretty much all you remember and know.
Okay.
Zaltanna, what are you up to?
She's kind of like looking at them confused. Because would she also notice that they look really like fucked up?
Okay, I'm gonna ask just for Zaltanna. The other two, I'm probably gonna say you probably haven't fought anything like properly fought the other present threats. Rhal'Jakk especially probably would not have. You probably never seen. You would know of the ever-present threats. You would even have known them from where you came from, but it was an exceptionally rare occurrence there. Zaltanna, do you think being that you are a woman of the world, do you think you ever would have fought this sort of thing? Would you ever have seen them?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. In that case, you take a history check for me.
Being a warrior of Gad.
She's Gad. Yeah, that's true. Also, you probably would have gotten a little bit more knowledge from the Temple of the Triad.
14.
Pick one of them.
The lady.
You know that she is a Valkyrie. You know from her mournful look that she is supposed to be riding a giant wolf, but the wolf is not here. You know that her weapons are particularly badass. And that's pretty much all I'm going to give you on your 14.
Zaltanna is going to... I mean, she's already standing up. She's going to kind of like look at the Valkyrie and say, where's your wolf?
She looks at her companions and steps forward in front of them, very much protective, very much a similar way that Rhal'Jakk and Caden are standing in front of you both. She steps forward and tips her head looking at you. And she looks down from her ginormous height. And she says,
"The Infernals took him from me."
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes.
You
are all unclean. This world is full of things I must scourge.
Right. I know that's what you think, but I'll make you a deal. I'll heal you and your friends if you promise not to kill us.
Hmm. Take a justify a roll to me. I will say not intimidate. You are not intimidating.
That sounds persuasion. That sounds
I was
persuading.
going to say, because they're godly, maybe a religion check.
Ah, okay.
Flip out your sign of symbol of tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do that, I will allow that. Yeah, go for it,
She'll
man.
hold up her symbol of tear. And I got a 19.
Ooh.
Holy shit. She looks down at you and she steps forward and she beckons the bird, and the bird sort of like just floats over. As the bird moves, you become aware it's kind of emitting this very kind of very gentle, almost lullaby music as it's coming towards you. And she kneels down and puts her hand out towards you.
Zaltanna walks. I guess she'd have to walk past Rhal'Jakk and Caden. So she walks kind of past them and up towards the woman, and she's like, "Can I touch you?"
Yes.
All right.
You're not entirely sure what she's thinking as she's looking at you, however.
Okay.
Do you, the other one of you, Balance, do you have your aura sight thing?
Yes, I do.
You've got active at the moment. Okay. You're getting, apart from the whole like, oh, you have aura sight up. Actually, I'll get back to you in your aura sight in a minute.
Sure.
There is definitely a fluctuation in hers.
So, do we have a deal?
I will agree not to kill you.
All right.
And the bird just like,
Am I aware of like the general personalities of celestial beings? Like, are they very fickle in their behaviors, or?
you wouldn't know on your previous history and insight checks. Yeah, you wouldn't really know. You just know that they're a threat. Her previous comments on you guys being scourged, need to be scourged from the face of the planet, kind of tallies with what you guys know. Celestials will destroy anything not celestial. Demons will just fuck you over because they're bored.
Gotcha. Balance is going to say telepathically to Zaltanna, be careful with something like that. She said, I will not harm you. That doesn't mean that her companions won't then.
Zaltanna, using her mental connection to Balance, says back, I fought these guys before. We don't want to fight them. I'm going to, sorry. I caught what she said. Don't worry about it. I got a plan.
All right.
She lays her hand on the Valkyrie's hand, outstretched hand, and she does lay on for 5.
Okay. Whereas before, normally you see light emitting from the wounds, and then with a flash they disappear. With hers, you don't see that. You just see flesh knitting together, but you've probably only healed maybe a bit of a scar. That's it.
If you make your companions promise not to hurt us or kill us, I can heal you all more than that.
She stands up very tall, and you see that the bird just like flies up and sort of like hovers around her shoulder, and you see her put her hand on her weapon. She's like,
I promise not to kill you, and I will not kill you. But my companion, the Sandman, has words he may wish to have with you. And if he kills you, oh well.
and she turns and walks back. She has no qualms at all that she has her back to you. Just walking off, the bird flutters along with her. The bird doesn't even bother staying for the healing. And you go back to the Sandman. Those of you with aura sight up,
Hi.
the one of you with aura sight up, you notice that you can't actually make any real connection with the Sandman at all. You can't read his aura. You can read him, you can't read his aura. There's nothing there for you.
Peculiar. How far away are they from us now?
She's walking back, so I'm going to say she's probably about 30, 35 foot. He's 50 foot out.
I assume we heard the conversation, right?
Oh, yeah.
What words would your companion have with us then, Sandman? What is it you wish to say?
He points a long skeletal finger at Zaltanna, and you see the kind of like the smoke that's making up his cloak, his loincloth, just sort of like run along his arm, a bit like a fluid, and like curl up at the end of his finger. And they shoot out towards Zaltanna, and you see it hit her, but go around her like a bubble, mist up, and then come back towards him. It's like,
I can't touch this one. This one. Her dreams are beyond me. Someone is protecting her dreams. This makes her. I want her.
Whoa, buddy. I'm not down for that. You seem like a perfectly nice guy, but there's no attraction here.
He begins to walk forward, but it's very stilted movements. It's very jarring. Like one moment his leg will be forward, and the next moment the other leg will just appear to have just coalesced in front of him. He's very jarring to watch, and he seems to be making his way over to you. Slowly, but he's making his way over.
I do not want things like that, mortal. But someone is messing with your dreams, aren't they?
She kind of gets this like look in her eyes, and she's like, do you know about that?
I am the Lord of Dreams. You think your change has escaped my notice?
And he's probably about 15 foot from you at the
Do
moment.
you know who's doing it?
It shakes its head.
She's got a hand on her sword. She's like, what do you want with me?
Yeah, Rhal's gonna move up.
Okay.
I want to take you apart and see how it works.
Balance draws his swords.
No, we're not doing that. She draws her sword completely.
It looks at you, looks at the three of you. Caden has also drawn his sword, and you begin to see a very small green glow fleck along his sword.
But you are to be scourged from this planet anyway. I cannot just take you apart before we start. You could be valuable to me.
No. No, there's, we have to stop the apocalypse.
I'm here. We are here. We are supposed to be cleansing this earth. We'll cleanse it before the apocalypse comes, don't you worry.
It's kind of like tilting its head. It's probably about 10 foot from you now. You probably notice by the dint of its glow that the Firebird has begun to float up beside it, and it's going off to your left-hand side to flank you. And you see the Valkyrie is going off to the right. She is not on the same side as Zaltanna, however.
She promised not to kill us or
To
hurt
kill
us.
you.
Oh, to me. Fuck, true. God damn it. I really don't want to fucking fight them. At least they're all pretty dang injured, even if I gave 5 points of healing to the Valkyrie.
Yes, on a fair note, they are pretty well injured.
You are already pretty damn injured, I can tell. You don't want to do this with us.
It looks over at its female companion, and she just tips her head.
We can take them. They're but small creatures in this, yes?
And he looks back at the Firebird, and without saying anything, you see it's opening its beak and closing it again, and you kind of get that kind of like lullaby feel to what its movements again, and the creature just shakes its head and looks down at you. Take a charisma check for me.
Oh, good. Oh, actually, I'm really good at charisma. That's right.
Charisma. You should be. You're a paladin.
20. Wait, is that nat? No.
Non-natural.
Non-natural 20.
Don't get overexcited. You're not that lucky. We really had a natural 20, and that's before the game even started. It looks down at you and just shakes its head. Its companion's like,
Yes, well, we can do more. We can scourge more if we're alive. Taking this fight now is beneath us.
and he's definitely looking down at you as he says this.
You're right. Fighting us is beneath you. Why not go fight some people? I don't know. Go scourge other people.
I think it's time we return home. Come.
And he takes a few steps back. The Valkyrie and the Firebird kind of like float around you guys and get very close. and you feel the Valkyrie breathing down your neck. She is itching for a fight. You see her hand on her sword. And you see her looking at each of you in turn. And as she looks at Zaltanna, you can see that her hand is shaking and she pulls the sword a little. And she backs up, just still staring at each one of you. And the Sandman puts its hands, long bony hands, on each of its companions. And it says,
I will be back for you, Zaltanna. I will pull you apart before the end of this world.
I believe you'll be back, but I don't believe you'll be able to pull me apart.
and as it laughs, you can see swirling air. You can see that this kind of like breeze, this wind has whipped up around the three of them as the Valkyrie reaches out with her sword hand to clasp the Firebird. So each of them are holding one another. And you see like wind, and you see like grass and debris flying up around them. And you hear a bit like a thunder crack, like into the center of the circle that they have made. Zaltanna, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, just make a straight charisma roll for me.
What was that? 11.
Okay, cool. As you see this thunderbolt approach and like smack down in the center of them, you see the Valkyrie suddenly jerk, and she grabs her weapon, she pulls it, and she throws it at you.
Fuck.
And it goes sailing towards you. The four of you notice that the crack of lightning, just as it hits, the three of them whoosh, disappear, and this kind of like thunderous storm that's been made has just collapsed and died as if there was nothing there before. But the sword is flying towards you. What do you want to do?
I want to try to catch it. No, that's a bad idea. I want the Valkyrie's sword.
I'm right next to her, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I intercept this?
You can catch missiles, can't you? As a monk?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
If you want to try and catch it before her, I will allow you to attempt to catch it before she gets it.
Yeah, I'm like right there, and I see her throw this
catch
thing.
Catch me a sword. I want it.
I'm more concerned about it not hitting you.
It's a great sword. It's a great sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna intercept that, I guess. I don't think I roll for that. I think that it has to like hit me, and I take away a certain number of damage on it.
You can use a reaction to catch or deflect, reduce the damage taken.
So you have to roll to hit me with a ranged weapon attack, basically.
All right. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's do Valkyrie throwing a weapon. Let's say, because I'm going to allow you to intercept this, that she's technically throwing it at you. Why not? So she has a strength of that.
So if this does less than 8 damage, I'm good.
It is an improvised weapon, because that is a great weapon.
It's not an improvised weapon. It's a great weapon. She is a Valkyrie. She gives very little fucks about stuff.
I wish I was a Valkyrie.
I say that. She has a phenomenal bonus. She got a 15.
No.
Cool. All right. Let me roll some greatsword damage, which I believe is a D10, right?
Greatsword is 2d6.
Did she hit me? She hit me, didn't she? No? Okay.
Okay. She did exactly would have been. You catch it. Let's say that the damage would have been minimal, but you catch it. I need you to make a...
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I need you to make a charisma saving throw. The DC is 17.
I rolled a 9. Total.
You catch this great sword as it goes flying towards your companion. You reach your hand out and you just grab the handle. You hear a voice in your head. And it says,
At last. Hello.
Oh, shit. Brawl doesn't respond.
Rude.
I'm sorry?
I require your help. Are you ready to tear this world apart. Are you ready to bathe in the blood of our enemies?
Excuse me?
Are you saying this out loud, or are you thinking this in your head?
He's talking out loud.
Okay.
Rahl, is everything
Rhal'Jakk,
okay?
Are you okay?
Yes. I think. Can I drop the sword?
No. You don't want to drop the sword.
Yes, I'm fine.
Can I see that sword?
You can try and hand it over. Zaltanna, take a investigation on it.
Okay.
You can do the same as well. Any of you guys can now. Rhal'Jakk, you could do it with advantage.
The good thing is that I can't swing this thing very well.
I got a 10.
I got a 16.
That's because you're an investigator.
That's my job.
You can investigate it too, by the way, Rhal'Jakk, just with advantage because you're fucking holding this thing.
Investigate it? Okay.
Yep, you can investigate it. It's the specific details. Rather than just...
That's a 10.
Wow. Jeez. The two of you with 10, you notice that the sword is a great sword. It is a truly great sword. The shaft is bound with dark red leather, just dark red leather, and there seems to be something written on it maybe. That there is a crossguard and the pommel are burnished dark bronze and the blade is a dark steel.
Oh,
For those of you who got a 16,
Hi.
so cool.
you notice that the red leather is inscribed with very delicate golden celestial runes that glow ever so slightly. And you also notice that the name Kalinmorn is inscribed in common upon the blade.
Rahl,
Hi.
drop the sword.
You don't want to.
Why? I'm okay.
Rahl,
Balance.
there's something magical about that sword, I believe.
Yeah,
Hey.
it looks magically amazing. I want it.
I heard that, yes.
It's magically inclined, it seems, and it's from someone who just moments ago wanted to kill us. I wouldn't trust it.
I could learn to use it.
We want you do want to learn to use me. Go on. Give it a swing.
Oh, God.
It's up to you. You don't have to.
No, I'm not. I mean, if I don't have to, then I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to place my hand on Rhal's arm and say, Rhal'Jakk,
Hi.
what is the sword telling you to do if you're talking to it?
Learn to use it. Swing.
That's not... She looks at Belle and she's like, that's not that bad.
Tell her of the great things we could accomplish. Tell her how we would smite our enemies, that we would cleave them in twain.
I say that like as it's saying it. Just out loud.
Okay, Rahl,
Tell that sword I want to cleave my enemies in
Zaltanna,
twain.
no, you are not helping.
And I know how to use a great sword.
She does.
That sword was being wielded by someone who wanted to kill us.
She knows how to swing. She knows how to fight. Give me to her.
Oh, God. Caden, help, please. This is a bad idea.
Can I back away from everyone? I'm getting stressed out.
You can definitely back away. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Take a con save.
This might be a good time for me to fail that roll.
You can
boy.
opt to fail it.
That's not as fun though, is it?
No, roll then. Roll.
Okay.
You're
It's
fine.
an 18.
Caden, say something, please.
Rhal'Jakk, put down the weapon. We don't know what that weapon is. It came from a celestial who just wanted to try and kill us. Apart from Zaltanna.
No, she definitely threw that at me.
Right, that's my point, too. She was
But
probably
she-
trying to corrupt you or something.
No, but she promised not to kill you, right?
Right.
Rhal'Jakk, put down the sword. Rhal'Jakk, you do not want to put down the sword.
Rhal'Jakk, give me the sword.
I don't want to.
Rhal'Jakk, give me the sword. Kind of like, I want to play with it.
He's once again holding it wrong.
You're not even holding it right, Rhal'Jakk.
He's holding it to where like it would be a paddle instead of a sword.
Zaltanna takes out her own greatsword and like shows and like puts herself in a proper stance, and she's like, "This is how you hold it."
No, don't show. Oh god.
I adjust myself.
Oh, I like that one. Go on, give me to that one. She has blood in her heart.
Well, yes. All right. There's blood in all of our hearts.
You can't.
That's how you were live.
Rhal'Jakk can hear that.
You can't hear this.
No, I know. I'm being sarcastic because there's blood in everybody's hearts.
But especially mine.
She has fire. Give me to her.
Well,
I have acid.
You will not wield me. Give me to her.
well,
balance.
Put it down, please. Rhal'Jakk,
just kind of looks conflicted.
Rhal'Jakk, if you do not drop that sword, I'm not helping you find out Emma's murder.
Rhal'Jakk, if you give me the
that's low.
Rhal'Jakk, if you give me the sword, I'll heal you. Because you got injured, right? When it hit you?
No.
Oh. Rhal'Jakk, if you give me the sword, I promise I'll use all the rest of my healing on you before I take a nap, if need be. None for balance. I want the sword.
Quite frankly, I don't think either of you should have it. We don't know what it is.
Yeah, but like, all right, but here's my argument for why I should get the sword. A, I know how to use a great sword. B, it's freaking awesome. C,
I am.
C,
it says it is.
Tell it, it's freaking beautiful.
I am.
It can hear you.
Oh, sword, you're beautiful. Anyway, C, I am godly, so I'm like partly celestial anyway, so like I could probably handle it.
I don't think that's the case, but
I think you're both idiots. Put the sword down, please.
I have experience with celestial shit, though.
You should put the sword down, Rhal'Jakk. You clearly don't know how to use it anyway. Please.
Are there rolls that are going to make me like want to put us down?
Do you want to put it down?
You're telling me that I don't. You're literally telling me that I don't.
With Rhal'Jakk at this point, I mean, he's getting this overwhelming urge to just hold the thing.
Rhal'Jakk doesn't know how the fuck to use a sword.
All right, this is falling apart. Okay, take a wisdom check for me. Wisdom save.
12.
Oh man, I think its stat is automatically higher than that.
Probably a lot. Yeah, probably. It's not a very good roll.
Yeah, you're feeling this urge to hold on to it. There's a part of you that doesn't want to hold this freaking sword because it's a great sword and the wielder just tried to kill you. Well, thought about killing you. But the other part is that this is a great sword.
Zaltanna is going to walk up and put her hand on the hilt.
Hello.
Hey, sword!
Oh my god, not you two.
Guys. Take a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
This is going to be the stupidest thing ever.
I love talking swords. Leave me alone. 14.
You fail. You also don't want to let go of this sword.
Sweet.
Hello.
Hi.
Apparently, you can use me.
Yeah.
Yes. We will get to rip our enemies in half.
Yeah.
We will get to slice their limbs and break their bones.
Sounds good.
I like this one. Little wee one. Let go.
And it releases its grasp upon you.
Okay, cool. I let go.
Sweet. I got the sword. Yes.
Zaltanna, I need you to roll a d6 for me, please.
Okay. I got a 5.
You are technically charmed by Cannonmorn for 5 hours.
That's okay. I'm already in love with
essentially,
the sword.
whenever it suggests an idea to you, you're going to want to do it.
Okay. That might not be so good.
May not be so good.
Gee, I wonder why.
Rawl just looks confused for a minute.
Yeah, you felt this kind of effect fade off. So,
Rawl, you good?
Yes. There was magic.
Really? It's almost like I suggested that in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Zaltanna?
Yeah?
Such a pretty name.
Thank you. What's your name?
Stop talking to the sword!
No!
My name is Callan Morn. You may call me Callie, Kayan, Cal. Whichever.
Can I call you Cal?
Sure. So long as I can call you Zal.
Yes!
Stop talking to the sword, Zaltanna.
And stop everyone naming their character something A and then L. Ball, Rawl, Zal.
I didn't mean to
Call.
do that.
You guys.
Anyway.
Yes. What is your destiny? What is your plan?
If I talk to you in my head, will you be able to hear me, or do I have to talk out loud?
Of course. You do not need to speak like a peasant.
Okay. So in her head, she says, I'm planning to take out the entire Double Ones gang. Murder all of them.
How quaint.
Well,
Our destiny, my destiny is far greater than that.
what's your destiny?
I will travel to the plains of the gods, and I shall smite the enemies, cut them down. I shall protect this world.
Wait, are the gods the enemies, or are the infernals the enemies?
No, the gods aren't the enemies. How stupid do you think I am?
Oh, good, because I'm a worshiper of Tyr. So,
That's fine. There is an enemy on the horizon that must be stopped. Threatens gods and everything above and below.
yeah, what is it?
I do not know. I simply know that it is my destiny to fight it. That is how I was trapped in this accursed thing.
You want to hang out with me? We're going to stop the apocalypse.
Such a grand scheme.
Yeah.
Hey, Valanda.
Yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
Being a scion, can I worm my way into this conversation somehow?
You want to try to fucking get in my head again after last episode when she told you not to do that?
While she's holding a scary sword.
Yeah, do you
Are
really
you trying to get into the mind of this sword?
No. I'm trying to get into the conversation.
Which is in my mind.
Right. It's a telepathic conversation. So my argument is that being that we're all connected,
yeah, but
I want to get in there.
You can listen to her. You will have to do something different to listen to it.
Also, are you going to try to listen to Zaltanna in her own brain after, like, she specifically told you not to do that? For real?
I'm trying to get into the sword because I want to hear what the sword is saying.
So you're trying to get into the sword. How are you doing that? Do you have any abilities that allow you to read anything? To read anything's mind?
I have a ability literally called telepathy.
Right, link it.
I don't know if the sword is considered a creature or not, but...
It is technically considered a thing because it is a sentient weapon. You don't need to share a language.
And it is telepathic itself.
You understand... To understand your telepathic message, but the creature must be able to understand at least one. Yes, you can attempt to communicate with it telepathically should you wish.
I would like to do that then.
Sure.
When I do that, I do want to switch to my psychic inquisition focus.
Sure.
So whenever I'm communicating with something and it is communicating with me via telepathy, I can tell if it's lying.
Sure. What do you want to say?
Am I in conversation with both Zaltanna and the sword, or is it just me and the sword?
No, I'd say that you can get into both. Why not? Because you already have a mind link with Zaltanna.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yep.
What's going on here?
In your voice, it is annoying. Get it out.
Balance, what have I told you about coming in my head?
I'm not invading your memories. I want to find out what is going on between you and this sword.
We're talking.
Yes, we are simply talking. It is not like we could be doing anything.
Yeah, if we were doing anything, you'd physically see it. Now get out of my head.
I will get out in a moment. I want to make sure that this is, well, safe.
Yeah, Cal just wants to stop the apocalypse with us.
Is that true, Cal?
Yes.
Is he lying?
No.
Interesting.
This is more like it. Yes. Traveling the plains brings me closer to my destiny.
Oh, going to another plane, that's a bit optimistic considering our current path.
What path? What are you keeping from me, Zaltanna?
No, yeah, we're doing like a big roundabout thing. We gotta find this freaking like legendary warrior dude. And we gotta put him back together to help us.
Your gaze is fixated on him. I am a warrior of legend. Dude.
Know your sword.
I was a legendary warrior.
Lying?
No.
Really?
Yes, my name was Morn. That Valkyrie built me onto her sword at the very height of my perfection, at the very peak of my power.
That's so fucked up.
Yes, what a bitch.
Why would that have happened?
Are you not aware of what a Valkyrie is? Have people become idiots in my millennia of absence?
Some of them, I'm sorry to say.
It's not very often that people are educated on such things. I'm somewhat aware.
Well, I am not here to hold your hand. See to this yourself. We have important matters to attend to.
Yeah, we gotta get to Dowry and find that other piece of the warrior dude.
I will come with you. I will work with you and destroy our enemies in the most bloody way imaginable.
I'm down for that.
But you have to swear that we will travel to the plains of the gods.
I can promise that I will at least do that with you.
Do note that there's no time constraint on that.
I will make sure she lives long enough to not worry. I will make sure that she gets there, even if her own will should fail her.
And can I trust that you do not have evil intentions for any of us?
Are any of you evil?
No.
Nah.
Is any one of you going to stand in my way?
Not if we have the same goals.
I definitely won't. You and I are on the same page.
Yes, Sal. There is a connection between us.
Yeah. Zal and Cal.
Provided she doesn't require your death. And you do not try to get in the way now. Get the fuck out.
Mine too.
All right. And Balance is going to pull back. And then he's just rubbing his temples.
You can take a history check.
Me?
Yes, you.
All
For
right.
Valkyries.
You can take a... no, you already did a check on a Valkyrie, so I can't give you anything else.
That's a 24.
You know that Kalin Morn was an exceptionally powerful human warrior that seemed to just disappear one day in the middle of a battle.
How long ago?
Probably about 4,000 years ago. You know that this particular person, this particular warrior was human, that they struck fear into their enemies. Tales were told of, like, you know, light glinting off of bloodstained teeth, hands covered in, like, guts and sinew. You know, the undead would run in fear from them, that kind of thing. And then they just disappeared one day. They were supposed to be destined for something great, but just disappeared off the face of the planet.
Was this before or after the Great Calamity that was mentioned?
After.
After.
This is after the Great War.
Okay. Why is it that I always get a headache around you two?
So what do you guys want to do now?
Zaltanna is going to ask Cal if she can sheath him.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to put him in my sheath and I'm going to toss my old greatsword. I'm going to help right the cart.
The horses have kind of like run off in a random direction, but you know, the two horses, Thistle and Clack, are kind of like grazing at some trees nearby, and the cart is kind of attached to them, but on its side and has been dragged quite away. There's a substantial amount of damage to it.
I'm gonna run over to the cart and like start trying to like right the cart, like put it upright. And then when I've got it upright, I'm going to toss my old sword into the back of it. And because I'm going to get another sheath for my old sword. So I have two great swords.
Badass. What's the other two of you up to?
Balance is making sure that Raul's okay because Raul was having a fucking like moment there. Raul, are you okay?
I am fine. That was just a little shaken, you know. I'm nervous, but fine, I guess.
Are you sure?
Yes, that was just strange. Do you think it's okay?
It wasn't lying to me when it said that it had seemingly good intentions. Its goals seemed to line up with ours, albeit a bit more on a grandiose level, but...
Right.
I do recognize the name.
Do you?
It was a warrior a couple thousand years ago. Up and disappeared. Apparently we know where he went.
Well, I don't want anything to do with it.
Don't touch it. Don't just stay away from it.
I can't use a sword.
It's a little bit different. Being an elf, at least I'm immune to... Well, I'm not immune, but I can resist charm effects that the sword might try to wield a bit better. But
Sure.
I wouldn't recommend it for anybody else. Zaltanna's already in love with the fucking thing.
No doubt. I was fond of it a short while ago.
Yes, we noticed.
No idea why. Right.
The person who was saying, no, I don't want to use weapons, I don't know how to, was suddenly, I want it.
I did.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
I don't.
I'm kind of concerned about Zaltanna. She's too attached to it, I think.
I agree. But I have a feeling that if we do try to remove the sword or anything, that she's probably going to kill us.
So sentient weapons are tricky things.
That one in particular seemed very concerning. The entity inside of it was very aggressive, bloodthirsty, volatile.
What are its goals? I don't understand.
Sort of the same as ours, ending the apocalypse, something about going to another realm.
We have to just be careful of her and be willing to take it from her in case it overwhelms her.
best I can say right now, I'm assuming Zaltanna's like off away from us right now, right?
Yeah, she's putting the carts to right, sort of. I'll get back to that in a minute.
The best thing that I can say to do for now is keep an eye on her. If it becomes a problem, then we may have to deal with it. If not, then when we get back to Falsum, perhaps Demi may have a better idea of what to do.
True.
That being said, I don't suggest that we let Demi actually touch the sword because I'm afraid that combining two volatile beings may just disintegrate us.
You see Caden look a little kind of like frowning, a little uncomfortable. He's clearly worried. You mentioned about Demi's volatile nature.
Caden, I don't need to be reading auras for me to tell that something's off. What's up?
It's just that Demi's not the most stable. Never has been, but now she's worse. And my Talus is there and Kythea.
Oh, I trust that.
Maybe getting her to look at it would be a very, very bad idea.
That is true. Would Balance know any Witches Society people from the Dusk?
Yes. You would know that there is in all of like the kind of major cities there would be like Witches Society outreaches, like little posts and stuff like that. Falsum just happens to be the headquarters of the Witches Society. Like all of the kind of major towns, like Beleg Bood would have one, Dusk Plateau would have one, Darkhammer Stronghold would have one. A couple of like the bigger towns in between would have a Witches Society, like a little post. You would know that they'd be around. You personally probably would know someone from the large one on Beleg Bood Lake.
Okay. Well, if it comes to it, we can always try to see about going to one of the Witches Society locations in the Dusk. We may not need to deal with Demi directly if somebody else can take a look. I know someone, but they're obviously back at home, and I would not recommend that we go there just yet. As much as I would like to see home, I have a feeling that's that's going to be an endeavor in itself.
That would be a really difficult, if not dangerous for you.
I imagine I'd probably end up getting myself killed. Assuming that's what my family intended in the first place, I still don't know.
That if they wanted you dead, they could have had you dead.
Well, perhaps half my family wanted me dead and the other half didn't.
I don't know the specifics of how you got here. I just know that you are.
Right.
We should go help Zaltanna with the cart. I mean, so long as she doesn't attack us with the sword, we're good, right?
We should be. I can communicate with the sword at a range, so if I need to determine something, I can always talk to it.
That's good.
And I can tell if it's lying, which is nice.
Are you okay, Rhal'Jakk?
I am okay. I am just going to stay away from it. I don't need the extra stress.
He kind of like smiles.
I think we should have fought, though.
You think we should have fought the Celestials?
Yes, they were weak. Weaker, anyways. If they come for us later.
The fact that the Sandman wanted Zaltanna is worrying. Did you know she's been having weird dreams from what it said?
No, I mean, we have not discussed that.
In case it wasn't obvious, Zaltanna doesn't exactly talk about anything.
True.
Everything I've learned, I've had to fucking pull from her. It's like pulling teeth.
Yes, but there's a difference between pulling a rotten tooth and diving into someone's memories.
Listen, I needed to know I could trust someone. I understand that may have been an invasion of privacy, and I'm working to be a better person, which is more than can be said for Zaltanna right now, I think.
Well, we shall see. Apocalypse does strange things to a person.
Having a second entity in your mind will also do strange things to a person. Take it from personal experience.
Of course. Come on, we should go help. And Caden will stride off to help Zaltanna.
I'm not very strong. There's not much I could be doing here.
I'm going to try to keep the horses calm while all this is going on.
Take an animal handling check, my man.
Absolutely. 5.
Wow.
Oh.
Hoof to the face.
Yeah, basically, you try and calm down. Thistle is easily silenced, easily bad. She's just eating grass, and you go to like quieten down Clack, who seems to be like tossing his head and like pulling at the reins. As you go for him, he just kicks you square in the stomach.
Oh,
cool.
And you go flying back.
Oh,
For Jesus, for 9 points of damage.
Ruptured kidney. Rawl dies.
Awesome. Now I have to do some math.
You should be on
13.
14.
14?
Yeah.
Math.
I think. Maths. Boys, maths.
Valence is standing a bit back, sees the kick, and just starts laughing. Are you all right, Rawl?
You see Caden reflectively like, sympathy pains. He's been there before.
Zaltanna's gonna run over and be like, help him up.
Okay.
And be like, do you need some healing?
It would be nice, but I mean, I don't know how much you did earlier. I don't know how much we might need later. I'm okay.
I still have some reservoirs. If you want me to, I will. If you want me to wait, I will. Also, I want to thank you.
Oh, no worries.
Because I know that for you, the sword was not fun. And also, you saved my life. So,
maybe.
I fought Valkyries before.
How many of them had talking swords?
I don't know. I've never picked up a Valkyrie sword before.
Then I guess you never won a fight against one, huh?
If I hadn't won a fight, I'd be dead.
Well, you can run away.
No, I never really wanted to pick up a Valkyrie sword before.
Never had one tossed in your face either.
That's true. Back then, it was different. I wasn't as angry.
So do you lay your hands upon him? Do you heal him or?
Yeah, I'll lay my hands and heal him for 3.
No. So you heal him up for 3. You lay your hands upon him. You intone tear, I guess.
Yeah.
And you see a flash of light in the kind of like rib area, and then you feel your rib cage just like click back into place as they unbreak.
Thanks. I save the rest of your energy. I will take it easy.
Look, you're my friend, so it's not a problem.
At this point, the sun is beginning to set, and I'm going to go with balance because he's like standing back, I assume, surveying the scene.
Yep.
This just ridiculousness. Take a perception check for me. It's pretty easy.
Sure.
So I just want to see whether you spot
10.
Obvious. What, 10? You notice that as it's been like set back upon its things, you notice a very significant crack in the back axle of this cart. It's currently standing, but this crack is deep and probably will splinter and break.
Fuck.
What?
What's wrong?
The axle on the back of the cart.
What's wrong with it?
There's a big crack in it. Caden, do you have mending? Is that something you're able to do?
No. I can make it look like it's not broken anymore, but it will still be broken.
No, that wouldn't really help. Shit.
Mm-mm.
I don't suppose any of you know how to fix a cart.
Caden just shakes his head.
Could I make a nature roll to see if maybe I know of any sort of maybe a tree sap or something like that might help to stabilize it so we could use it?
Nature.
17.
There are tree saps that will do the job, but looking around the area, these aren't those kind of trees.
Shit.
Does anyone have any extra metal or something? I could try to melt it around it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I've seen Aima do it before.
Yes, but she was a fire dragon, wasn't she?
Yes, but melting something is kind of melting something, it's just I have to probably be careful. More so than she was.
Casey, you're giggling. What are you thinking?
I was looking to see if I had any extra metal in my bag, and I saw that I forgot to take the green key out of my inventory, and also I'm giggling because there's a thing in there that just says, fancy ruby wand for Demi, and I guess I forgot that I had it, and I forgot to give her the ruby wand, so I'm just carrying around a ruby wand right now.
You're carrying around a ruby wand. Bear that in mind. It doesn't do anything, but bear it in mind, I guess.
Zaltanna?
Yeah.
Are you attached to your old sword at all? It's wide metal.
Oh, I guess not. I do have a new sword. I thought I'd have two swords would be cool.
Destroy it. I am all you need.
All right, Cal.
Statistically speaking, you can't use two great swords at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
this is not 3.5. You cannot get monkey grip.
Sorry.
Go for it. If you can melt it. But you have acid,
sure?
so I don't know if it's going to work as well.
I don't either, but it's worth a shot.
All right.
It might take a while.
You grab this longsword.
Great sword.
Hey,
Caden, maybe you can help out. You do have fire.
I have a firebolt. I can do. I can. We can perhaps work together.
Yeah, I'm gonna melt the metal like in half, so that we have like two long strips. One of which is like the handle, and one of which is the pointed end,
the blade.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we essentially have two shots at this because it probably has enough metal to wrap around the.
Oh, absolutely! Yeah, you can bind it round. Yeah. It won't be the greatest thing, and if you do a little bit of fiddling, you can probably put a hole through it and then just like bend the metal around and in through. Okay.
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to need Ral to make a survival check, and I'm also going to get Caden to make a survival check. Just because you're both using your skills, albeit in a slightly different way, to try and repair something. So, but it will be slightly easier. So I'm going to give you both advantage because you're working together.
Ooh. Okay. Natural 20.
Hey.
Well, he got a 21. So, what does your portion of what you do look like?
I'm basically taking the acid, and just keeping my muzzle like really close to the sword and trying to keep the acid, which is basically like a liquid, kind of in a line on the sword for a while to let it eat through. And so I'm kind of taking my sweater and kind of
using your sweater like masking tape.
Yeah, I'm taking my sweater and I'm kind of squeezing the acid together to where it's on a line and not dripping off and falling off everywhere.
Bet you never thought of that application for the sweater, huh?
Sweater, the new form of masking tape and duct tape. I love it. Okay, you basically managed to managed to dissolve off two very long strips of this longsword. You managed to great sword. You basically managed to cut it in half and remove it from the pommel. Good job. They're two perfect pieces. And what you then see is Caden shaking his hands a little bit and touching this metal, and you see him slowly bending and heating, and as he applies the fire jets from his hand, you see that he's bending it and pushing it through the wood part, so he secures it through and wraps it round and round, and he does that with both pieces. You guys now have a fully functional cart once again.
Yay!
Good job. And with that beautiful scene in mind as the sun is setting, we're going to call that an episode.
Acid and fire work well together.
Acid plus fire equals back axle.
I'm real proud of that. That was some good fucking teamwork.
Yeah.
That was some amazing teamwork.
Teamwork
I love
makes
it, guys.
the dream work.
Hello, everyone. Balance here, voiced by Arch. I just want to say thank you very much for listening. It's greatly appreciated. I have a special thanks and an announcement, so stay tuned until the end of this. Thank you to the major show of support we've been receiving on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at TLDpod, as well as all of our personal Twitters on there too. Thank you also to everyone who has sent us fan art. It all looks quite lovely and makes us all feel warm and fuzzy inside. Not in the brain exploding sense, in a good sense. Thanks also to Jason Basil for the logo and character art for the show, and thank you to the Spark Network for taking us in. Finally, I would like to give a huge shout out and a thank you to Rethix for voicing Callan Morn. That voice was terrifying. I think I'll stick to speaking with Monarch. You can find Rethix on Twitter at Rethix, as well as on Twitch at twitch.tv/Rethix. I assume and certainly hope you all have heard our first episode, Before the Beginning. It, to this day, is still our most downloaded episode. Well, good news. Next week, in place of releasing a normal episode, we will be releasing a super long Backstories episode. In it, you'll be able to dive far deeper into each of our pasts and see what has transpired prior to being thrown in the slammer. We hope you all enjoy it as much as we did when making it. And until next time, farewell.
The
Spark Network. Imagine what your idea can do.